So you've been able to get this ID for a while. So I didn't think this was an urgent conversation, and I kind of scoffed at her for even asking me to want to talk about something like this. That's not exciting. But boy, oh boy, was I wrong. I was completely wrong about that. And so when I was on my social medias, I didn't realize that there was such hysteria across the United States and extremely long lines at DMVs and at Real ID super centers where people were trying to get their Real ID yesterday. Like as if it is some type of deadline, right? Like yesterday was some type of big deadline that you had to have it. Everybody's like, oh, I got to get my Real ID today. And I understand yesterday was the deadline where they're going to start making you show a Real ID to fly or show a Real ID to get into a federal building. But it wasn't a big deal. I'm like, what is all this about? I was confused about why so many people were standing in line yesterday like they were standing in line to vote to get a Real ID. I was confused about when I saw on social media here in Milwaukee. You can see videos on social and pictures on social of lines all the way around the building with people trying to get this ID. And I realized in that very moment is that there is a huge misconception about these IDs. Some people in that line were thinking they had to get their ID or they're going to be fined somehow if you didn't have one, and as if having an ID was like a requirement. It's not a requirement. And so what I decided today, Truth Nation, make sure y'all go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube so you can watch and stream us live on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube so you can watch and stream us live. So what I wanted to do is I just wanted to take a moment because my girl was right. I was wrong. I can admit that. I just want to take a quick moment to educate people on details of when you actually need your Real ID. So you are not thinking you got to go get it now. Like, so you're not planning your life around going to get a Real ID today, tomorrow, the weekend, or whatever it is. I want to make sure y'all understand why you need a Real ID and what you actually need it for. So a Real ID has a little star on it, little federal purposes, little star on it that shows that it's a Real ID, right? And so it can be used for federal purposes, right? And some of those purposes are it allows for you to fly domestically inside the United States. It allows you to enter federal buildings as well. And if you do not plan to fly or enter any federal buildings anytime soon, you don't need to rush and get this ID. This is for flying purposes and be able to enter in federal buildings. If you ain't got no booked and busy trips or whatever it is that you finna take, you ain't got to worry about that. Now, in addition to that, is that we've had years to be able to get it, but when you do decide to get your Real ID, do understand, be prepared to present some items. You got to have some type of paperwork that shows your full and legal name, date of birth, social security number. So go ahead, get your social security card. Go ahead, get a birth certificate as well. You need 2 proofs of addresses of your principal residence and your lawful status. So make sure you go ahead and might as well go ahead and get your social security card and go ahead and get your birth certificate if you can find it, because I know some people are struggling to find that. And you can go get the ID. Also, understand if you have children who are under the age of 18, they don't need to show an ID to fly. So you don't need to get your child an ID as well. So for people who are thinking about, we about to take this trip somewhere and we need to make sure the kids, the 6 and 7-year-old, you ain't got to worry about that. You do not have to worry about that. Children under 18 do not have to use a Real ID. Now, also for those concerned about flying and you do not have your Real ID, say you got to go somewhere soon and you like, I ain't got time for this. Guess what? Passporto. El passporto. If you have a passport like me, look at them. Look at them. That's a Nigeria. I got stamps, baby. Look at all these stamps inside this is my second passport book. I got a lot of stamps up in here. Nigeria, St. Martin, Jamaica, Cancun, Cuba, all these stamps in my passport book. But you can use a passport to fly if you need to fly. But then on top of that, there's something called global entry, which allows for you to skip the lines when you're coming back into the United States. If you have a global entry card, you can also fly as well. So I'm telling y'all this right now. There's a lot of alternatives. There's alternatives. So I just wanted y'all to understand that this is the thing, is that if you do not have a Real ID, yes, you can fly without it. Matter of fact, this is a little nugget that a lot of people don't know, is you can actually fly without having an actual ID. You might say, what? Yeah, you can. Just be prepared if you don't have a passport, or if you don't have a global entry card like myself, or if you don't have the real ID and you just have your old passport, your old ID, you can still fly. It's just going to take longer for you to get through TSA pre-checks. They have a grace period going on right now. But then in addition to that, do understand, if you do not have an ID, you can actually still fly as well. Because what they do, because I've experienced this before, not me, one of my buddies, we were going on for a boys trip, and one of my boys, we was waiting for an hour, right? He had football practice, and it took an hour. We all waiting to be able to leave. We going out visit our boy in North Carolina. We waiting. It took him an hour to come, so he late already. He get into the car. We driving for about 15, 20 minutes, and my one guy said everybody got their wallets, they got their keys, they got their phones. He literally hit his pockets. He said, oh, my one friend said, drop his ass off. And so my brother was like, no, let's go. Let's keep going. Let's just go and see what happens. And if he can't go, we got to drive to Chicago, by the way. If he can't fly, then I'll just bring him back to Milwaukee. So he gets to the airport. We go through security, and TSA pre-check TSA will actually just pull you to the side and ask you a whole bunch of questions about your life, your address, where you're from, all this information about you. If you fail it, you can't fly. If you pass it, you can fly. It takes an extra 15 to 20 minutes. Well, this is the tough part. They ask you, okay, because at that time I was like 26, 27. They said, where did you live at? What was your address in 1998? What was your street address in 1998?
They have that information?
They have all. The government knows the government knows what hospital you were born in, what time you were born at. They know everything. The government knows everything about you.
If I get like, okay, I lived on X, Y, and Z street,
they know.
I got it wrong.
No, if they ask you, and this is Rhea Riley, producer of the show, and DJ Brother Z as well. Both of y'all went to colleges, right? And so if y'all, or even better, Rhea, I know you lived in Racine after college, or did you stay up here the whole time? You've been in the same place?
We put on my business out here.
Okay, well, anyways, they will ask you, where did you live this year? And like for DJ Brother Z, went to UW Parkside, they may ask you, all right, where were you living at? What university were you living at in 2016? And they may be able to ask that. You may have to answer that question. Like for him, they asked him like an address. I believe they even asked him, what was your neighbor's name that was next door?
Oh, it was insane.
It was crazy. He passed. He passed. I'm telling you, it was a mayor. We seen him come because we all left and we were getting to our flight because we were already late because of him. And all of a sudden we see him walking towards the flight. We like, hey, he made it. And that whole weekend, he didn't have an ID, so he was using my ID, but he literally went to everything. And the funniest part about it, he didn't have a wallet, and so he kept saying in his head, we were spotting him, he kept saying in his head, okay, yeah, I'm going to owe you this, I'm going to owe you that. That man ain't never paid us back. He was like, yeah, I got it, yep, I owe you this, owe you that. We get back to Milwaukee, that man this was 10 years ago, he ain't said a peep.
So you don't have a type A friend in your group because someone would have been keeping tabs.
It was, when you doing a lot of drink. Yeah, he pointed at me. I was trying to keep tabs, but when you doing a lot of drink, there's a lot of money being thrown around. I wasn't throwing a lot of it, but so you can definitely follow. So I just wanted to make sure people were upset. I thought this would be helpful. I thought it'd be very, very helpful to provide this information because a lot of people won't get. You can watch the streamers live on YouTube, 1017 The Truth on YouTube. You can like and subscribe. But a lot of people are panicking about getting his real ID. There's no fine if you don't have a real ID. If you're not flying anytime soon, you don't need to get a real ID. If you have a passport, you don't need to concern yourself with a real ID. If you have a global entry card, you don't need to concern yourself with a real ID. Even if you do have your old ID, it's just going to take a lot longer. They have a grace period. And then in addition to that, do know that you don't need an ID to fly, but do know that they're going to be quizzing you about your life that you may not know, even though that you're supposed to know about yourself. So I just wanted to make sure everybody was informed on that. 833-212-1017. What's crack-a-lack-a-lack-a-lack-a-lacking?
Hey, you got it all right, man. Crack-a-lack-a-lack-a-lack-a-lack-a-lack-a-lack. What's up, Miss Jazzy, Miss Rhea Jazzy? Miss Jazzy B. What's up, Rhea? All right.
She just smiled.
For Mother's Day. Am I coming through?
You coming through? She just smiled.
All right, crack-a-lack-a-lackin'. Yeah, a wonderful Mother's Day to all the wonderful black queens and mothers out there. All the mothers, any nationality or culture. But, yeah, especially our black queens. I love my black women, But wonderful Mother's Day to all the black women. And if not, the womb isn't barren. The babies are on the way. The babies are coming. Don't give up yet. Don't jump out there too quick either.
Speaking of babies,
feed them, raise them, close them, and all that stuff there with the help of the man.
Speaking of babies, yeah, Tyrone, did you hear about the 14 nurses in Green Bay that all got pregnant at the same time at the same hospital?
Actually, no, I didn't.
14
until now,
but y'all know nurses is freaks. Freaks.
Oh man, I'll let you fill me in after I just spit this little bit here. But yeah, I just wanted to say, I got to renew mine anyway, my ID. But
yep, same here.
I'm not running down there to circle the block and all that, because I got to make sure my Social Security stuff and everything is straight. But I ain't been on no plane in a while, since I've been in the service. So with all the trouble in the world, I'm not looking to run nowhere. I'm practicing on my different languages and stuff here, and meet different cultures and nationalities here. But I'm content with being here until we get some of the Trumpism and some of the evil stuff out the way, and then we'll. Because, as we see India, Pakistan, and all this other stuff, bombs and stuff they're being hurled, we got to bring more love and peace in the world. But, yeah, so, yeah, I'll get it to renew and get into this, my Social Security and all that. But as far as, get some of this hatred and stuff out the way there where people just intentionally crashing planes and stuff, I ain't in no hurry to get on no plane, man.
I feel you, Tyrone. I feel you. Thank you. Real quick, before we go to break here, we got to go to break. But saw this story a couple days ago about the 14 nurses in the same hospital that got pregnant. And that's crazy. It's crazy. They freaks. And I'll tell you this right now. Anybody, DJ Brother Z, you a young man. Have you ever met a traveling nurse out DJing in the club, anything like that?
I don't want to talk about it, Kyle Wallace.
I'm telling you. I'm going to tell you. Them traveling nurses, I'm telling you. Guard
I
Jewel.
will say her name right now. Kyle Wallace.
I am a happy man. But I'm just telling you this right now. These traveling nurses is wild back in. They still wild. I'm sure they still wild. But traveling nurses is they something else. That's why I said I know why 14 of them pregnant.
Look, because they be out here.
They be out because they out here for a long time. They here for a good time. That is it. I'm telling you this right now. Nurses is something else. And that's why I know all 14 is pregnant. Somebody said on YouTube, I hope it's not by the same doctor. Some was probably by NFL players. Watch, 14 years from now, Green Bay Southwest up there, De Pere High School up there, going to have all these little mixed babies running around there, blocking and tackling and winning games.
Bust it open. Get you some.
That's exactly what traveling nurses do. So Zach, you still young. I'm off the market. But you already done found out. Go ahead and keep living that life. If she says she's a traveling nurse, she on here for 3 months, you hit the jackpot. Absolutely hit the jackpot. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk to text line. On the other side, I got to share some deep thoughts about a stupid boat that everybody's been talking about. I've been so upset about this boat, and I can't wait to try to figure out why in the world are people so happy and excited about spending all this money to remove somebody else's boat. We'll talk about that on the other side. Keep it locked. You're listening to Truth to Power on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Need to look your best for a special occasion? You need
the $100 hookup.
This incredible deal includes a marvelous suit, shirt, tie, and shoes, all for $100. Only at Nick Cavani's, home of the
$100 hookup.
And that isn't limited to some standard stock suit. You'll be pleased by the top quality and variety of fashion offered at Nick Cavani's. No matter the occasion, maybe you're just ready for a fresh, new stylish look. Get hooked up today at Nick Cavani's in Mayfair Mall and at nickcavanis.com.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, They've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. There's no better time to upgrade your windows and doors than right now, because you can get up to 6 years of 0% financing at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Yes, no interest for up to 72 months, and the full Pella experience is always included. That means the Pella team is with you from start to finish. They don't disappear after the work is done. Set up your free in-home consultation. You commit to nothing at this point. A Pella design expert will listen to your vision and then present the different colors, sizes, and customizations needed to make that vision a reality. It can feel overwhelming to consider what feels like limitless possibilities, but Pella's design team can help narrow those options down for you to create that dream upgrade. Hurry! Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Certain restrictions apply, and the deal ends May 31st, 2025. So visit PellaWI.com today.
This is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am your host of Truth to Power, Kyle Wallace. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube, 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Make sure you give us a like. Make sure you give us a subscribe as well. If you have any thoughts or comments on the conversation, always know that you can chime in by texting in at 833-212-1017 in the Truth Talk in text line. Now, I've been seeing this story, and I don't know. Maybe I'm becoming an old grump and an old curmudgeon. Maybe I just take the fun out of stuff. I don't know. I feel pretty relaxed and pretty free, but I get easily annoyed, and I start to understand some of my father's irritabilities when I was a kid now, because I can see them coming out of me, just in my blood. It's in the Wallace blood. And so I get irritated by weird behavior. I get irritated when people do things that are a little different, right? Like it's weird to me, right? I guess I'm a pretty plain Jane or plain, I don't know what it would be, plain Jane, plain Tim, I don't know. But I think I'm pretty simple. And so I've seen this craziness about a boat in Milwaukee. There has been a boat in Milwaukee that everybody has been talking about called Deep Thought. Yeah, Deep Thought, that's funny. A Deep Thought. As a person who does have a boat myself, a little pontoon boat, I can appreciate a boat. But this Deep Thought boat has been getting all this hubbub and all this attention. It's been washed ashore since October. It's been sitting there for a long time, and people have talked about it. And then this craze started to grow where it grew this folklore of people loving this boat. So I want y'all to go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube, and we have a report, I believe it's from Fox 6 Milwaukee. Just give me a nod, Rhea. Fox 6 Milwaukee. TMJ4 talking about, thank you, TMJ4 talking about this Deep Thought boat.
Cheers from a crowd of onlookers, many of whom had been there the entire day, as the abandoned boat Deep Thought is finally taken from Milwaukee's lakefront. As the sun set, Deep Thought made the journey on board a tow truck over the Home Bridge.
Can we just pause it? All these people watching it, Deep Thought made his journey. I just even the inflection of what, keep going. I'm getting mad just listening to the report. Go ahead.
I-794 to its new temporary home at a tow lot near the airport. And with that ends the saga of the boat that ran ashore 5 months ago and was then abandoned. Megan Lee and many others were there as Deep Thought was hauled away.
It took over 12 hours for crews to get Deep Thought out of Lake Michigan and onto Lincoln Memorial Drive. I'm told the beloved boat will be taken to the All-City towing lot.
I can't believe it.
County Supervisor Sheldon Wasserman has worked for months to get this boat removed from the lake.
I mean, this is just absolutely a huge event for Milwaukee. I mean, to have helicopters overhead, we have drones. There are hundreds that have been here. There have been thousands all together have been stopping.
Crews worked a long day to lift the extremely heavy boat out of the water. A project that's been delayed many times had one last setback when the tires on the tow truck popped on its way out of the lakefront area. But after a brief pause, the journey continued on.
We were blessed with a really nice day, sunny, calm waters, so all the workers really were able to get in that water.
People like Alex Minnick fell in love with the boat and what it did for the city.
The absurdity of it, people love it. There's momentum around it. People generally just want to connect and play, and what a fun way to do so.
Alex, how long have you been out here?
Well, on and off, but mostly on since about 6:30 a.m.
Alex and his friends made a day of the boat removal. They soaked up the sunshine on the rocks.
I brought some tortillas and some queso. These guys had a nice little charcuterie rack when I showed up.
Is it crazy to you to think that Lincoln Memorial's been closed all day because of this?
A lot of this is crazy to me.
Crazy, but they think it was a true testament of what it means to be a Milwaukeean.
And this is what Milwaukee's all about, really. Just, it doesn't matter what it is. It's kind of nice that it's a neutral thing, too. It's not sports or politics or anything to divide people. This is really a team game out here, and everybody's on the same side.
Supervisor Wasserman tells me the county has some donations coming in to cover the costs owed to All City Towing, and they will likely cut up the boat and sell parts of it. In Milwaukee, Megan Lee, TMJ4 News.
All right, so this is a crazy.
Today,
I'm
going to teach you.
Yeah, bro. It must be nice to be able to go wake up on a Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning to go hang out at a boat to watch a boat come by. It must be nice to live a life where you think that a boat symbolizes what Milwaukee is all about. My frustration with this whole thing is that don't y'all realize that boat ain't free to remove? Don't y'all realize that the boat, the last estimate I got was $55,000+ It's going to cost not the boat company, not the owners of the boat, the past owners of the boat, the city of Milwaukee. Y'all may be thinking, why is the past owners not having to foot the bill? Well, here's this thing that's weird to me. I don't know. I don't get it. The past owners are broke. They can't afford to do it. And so the city's, I guess, isn't going to charge them for moving the boat, which I wish, hey, come tax time next year, guess what, city of Milwaukee? When y'all want my property taxes, I'm going to say I'm broke. I can't afford it. Go ahead, just cover that for me. It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense that we're talking about all these pleasantries and these fun things, and it's a cute story. Maybe I'm so jaded because I'm from the city of Milwaukee and I actually want to see real things get done. And so when I think about this, I was furious when I saw Mayor of Milwaukee Cavalier Johnson cheesing next to the boat, taking pictures and thinking this is all fun and putting it on social media, or Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley smiling next to the boat, thinking it's all fun. There was a damn ballerina dancing on the boat. Matter of fact, can y'all put the ballerina up? Y'all put the ballerina up in the background while I talk. Yes, this is crazy. What did Al say yesterday? White people, what did he say? I forgot what the whites. I'm telling you this right now. No offense. I'm just saying this is nonsense. What y'all go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube, and I want y'all to take a look at all the fanfare that was put behind celebrating a boat that contributed absolutely nothing but a bill to the city of Milwaukee. A bill to the city of Milwaukee. So make sure y'all go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube so y'all can just see the video of a dang woman dancing on the boat yesterday, putting on a performance. This is not a performance. The fact that the Milwaukee County Executive and also the fact that the mayor of Milwaukee and the county board members think it's funny and it's fun that a boat is stuck in our water for 5+ months and the taxpayers have to foot a bill over $55,000, y'all need to be better. We are so unserious here in Milwaukee. I'm so for real. We are so unserious here in Milwaukee about really advancing Milwaukee because we got folks who get murdered and killed every single day, but I don't see a photo out with the family or the support of the family and helping the family. What I see is Tory Lowe helping families over and over and over. And I like David Crowley and I like Mayor Cavalier Johnson, but I don't like the situation where they think this is all fun and games to take pictures with a boat. And I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday, Rhea actually, and we were talking about the fact that while we're spending $55,000+ to remove a boat, when I'm driving, I got to swerve to avoid a pothole from messing up my car. But oh no, yeah, swerve on them, we'll swerve on them. And so it's crazy to me that we could applaud and clap about us having to pay all this money towards removing a boat, but we got MPS schools where the kids can't even drink the water inside the schools. They had to close the schools down. But, let's take these photo ops in front of this boat. Deep thought. Let's have a ballerina dance on the boat. Let's have fun with the boat. I don't know. Maybe I just care too much about my community and understanding that, yeah, it's $55,000. Is it a big amount of money for a whole city or a county? No, it is not. But it is a gross misuse of our funds, and the fact that we're footing this bill, and the fact that they even said, this is how far it went. They said the people that own the boat can't afford it. It was a family from Mississippi that put all their life savings into getting a boat. They ran into a storm where the boat ran out of money, and they abandoned their boat, and they never came back to get their boat. Now, I have never heard in any situation or scenario where somebody can abandon anything and not get any type of charge. If you leave your car on the street of city of Milwaukee too many days, you know what they're going to do? They're going to give you ticket after ticket after ticket, and then they're going to tow that thing. And after they tow that thing, you know what they're going to do? They're going to hit you with the bill to get it out the lot, or they're going to hit you with a bill that's going to either be on your tax bill, or they're going to garnish your wages. So the fact that these individuals from Mississippi could come up here and abandon a boat and leave it here and not have to foot the bill, but we have to foot the bill, is absolutely ridiculous. Be better and send them that bill. 833-212-1017. What are y'all thoughts on this boat mess? Lisa, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts on this conversation?
I just thought that was just plain stupid. You transfer.
Uh-oh.
I am sorry, but that's not a...
I don't know what happened with Lisa. But 833-212-1017, Pamela Hudson said on the Truth Talk test line, you are sharing fake news. It was paid for by a private donor. No, Pamela, it was not paid for by a donor. Don't ever accuse me of having fake news if you ain't got your information right. What happened was, the first time they were trying to move the boat. Before, there was a company here in Milwaukee that was trying to move it, but they didn't have the tools to be able to move it. And I think it was a $20,000 bill that was by John Geyer and the moving company that they had, and so it was not paid for by a donor, but there wasn't a dominant donation of $10,000 that was placed. So you saying it was fake news, you need to make sure you educate yourself. See, that is the problem. Y'all be so excited about the stupidity of this fun stuff that y'all don't want to hold people accountable, and y'all want to make up stuff and say it was private donor. And this is what I want you to do, Miss Pamela. Send me the link or call in 833-212-1017 and share your sources. Please share your sources. But 833-212-1017. I'm mad about this. And yeah, somebody said creation music, quite the privilege. Quite the privilege is right. Somebody had a boat that they abandoned and don't have to pay for it. That makes no sense to me. All right, Lisa, let's give this another try. What are your thoughts on this conversation?
I'm sorry. Thank you. Like I said, I think it's stupid. Now, you know, if there was Tyrone Jenkins' boat in that water and he went back to Mississippi, by the time he took the plane or the bus back to Mississippi, that boat would have been towed away. You know, even if it was Tyrone Jenkins and Anita Jackson, you know, transferring the title, it doesn't matter. One of you guys won't get the payment, and y'all both split it, do whatever you got to do.
Exactly.
But you want to get that bill. You know, we shouldn't pay. You know, that's two kids going to MPS at $55,000. What is $20,000 per child to send to MPS? That's two kids, two and a half kids at least. So I thought the only thing I was intrigued about, because I'm in the transportation business, I was like, how big of a tractor was it? Did they put it on a flatbed?
No, so
it was pulling out.
It was a huge boat. The boat was 44 feet long and it weighed over 100,000 pounds. Okay. And so it was a massive. They attempted before to get it out, but it was entirely too heavy. And they attempted again, and this time they had to do more heavy duty. That's why the cost is so high.
Oh, yeah. See, that's what I wanted to see, because I'm in the transportation business, and that intrigues me when they be pulling buses and stuff like that out, you know, from different angles and hard places and stuff. So, yeah, I know it had some water. It had to have some water on it, so there would have been more weight. But, okay, yeah, I thought it was stupid. I'm like, Milwaukee, don't y'all got anything else better to do? Go look at your fingernails or something. Go paint a picture. Looking at a boat is not fun.
This is my, and that's
it's not, what's entertaining about that?
That's what I'm saying, Lisa. And this is my problem. Listen, I can't. I don't know if they voted liberal or Republican, but this is my biggest beef with associating with liberals. It's the fact that when I end up associating with some of these liberals, these are the people I got to associate with. Folks dancing on boats. People just thinking that life is just so fantastic and just so great. That's what annoys me, is I have to associate with people that are so out of touch with reality. The fact that, again, I like the mayor. I like the county executive. But the fact that they want to do photo ops with the boat, but I don't see them out here, and it's not their job every time somebody gets murdered, every time somebody gets kidnapped, every time something happens. But I don't want y'all to play no games right now. We are a city that is not in the shape to play games. We are a city that literally had a teenage kid lose his life recently. This is not the time to laugh and play. This is the time I want y'all to buckle up and be serious about something. We are a struggling city that I want to be great. And sitting here laughing about a bill of $55,000 over a boat is something I don't want y'all to spend your time doing. 833-212-1017. Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts on this conversation?
With all the machinery they got, I would have snatched that boat I snatched that boat right out that water. They could have took some money, and I would have took that boat right on down the Mississippi to that dirt road or the Mississippi Delta and take your boat. Because anytime it's something they want to do, they can make some things move. So since that boat is from Mississippi, right?
It is a boat owned by Mississippi couple.
Yeah, okay, well, that boat will go to that Mississippi couple address, and then it will come with a bill.
Yeah, it would.
And tell them, take that with that Mississippi bill and enjoy it with some of that Mississippi dirt. And after y'all go oolin' doolin' for that Mississippi catfish from the Mississippi Delta, you can come together and pay this bill in the name of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Thank you, Al.
And have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.
And with interest. 833-212-1017. So that's the conversation I wanted to have. Just briefly on that, but when we come back on the other side of Truth Nation, the other thing I want to talk about as well is that y'all know I could be critical, and I was very critical of Brenda Cassellius, the new MPS superintendent. But also, if you do something I like, I'll praise you. And Miss Brenda, come here, because I got to give you a big old hug for finally taking a stand against the teachers union. You're listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. On the other side, I'll tell you why I need to give props to the new MPS superintendent for finally doing what's right for the kids. Keep it locked.
You are listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app. Catch Truth to Power every weekday from noon to 1 p.m.
What if you could ask a question that leads to cleaner water? Discover aspects of the far reaches of space, or journey deep into data to improve healthcare. Researchers at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee ask questions, find answers, and add to our understanding every day. Progress starts with the question. It starts at UWM, the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee.
Life's better with American Family Insurance, because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth. It's powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. The Milwaukee Brewers' 3-game win streak came to an end on Wednesday afternoon after they fall to the Houston Astros in Game 3. This one by a final score of 9-1. After the game, manager Pat Murphy talking about urgency.
I'm not happy by any stretch because we also haven't played great baseball. And again, we've kind of misplaced our edge on a day-to-day basis. There wasn't the win tonight urgency when it was 3-1.
Next up for the Brewers is a trip out to Tampa Bay to take on the Rays, which will begin Friday night. And lastly, we'll head over to the NBA as the New York Knicks take a 2-0 lead over the Boston Celtics with a 91-90 win. And the Thunder evening up their series out west over the Denver Nuggets with a 149-106 win. The sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
You are listening to Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
One call, that's all, Truth Nation. If you or a loved one is ever injured in an accident, always contact Gruber Law Office because they will stand up for you. See, what I love about Gruber Law Office when I made that call is they allowed for me to focus on healing. My back was all messed up. They set me up with my physical therapy. I didn't have to worry about anything. I just had to show up, and they fought for me. And what I loved about them even more is I never paid a single penny. I never came out of pocket at all until they won my case. And, of course, they won my case because they always get results that truly speaks for themselves. They've been serving the community in the state of Wisconsin for over 35-plus years. So get with the winning team with Gruber Law Office today by visiting gruber-law.com or making one call, that's all, at 414-276-6666. That's 414-276-6666. We have a new pope. He's American as well. So first ever American pope. We will see how this goes. But, yep, the new pope is American. Boo. Me and Rhea were talking about during break. If it's a guy that when I was doing research on, I actually think that it's a good thing. If he was brought up by Pope Francis, if it's the guy that was with Pope Francis, aligned with him, good thing. If it's not, woo, we in trouble. We in trouble because you know how these conservatives is here in America. They're going to bring that to the world, Craig. But 833-212-1017. On the other side, I was talking about the fact that the deep thought boat that was stuck in the water that we taxpayers have to foot the bill for, but people were making jokes about it and having fun with it. It just didn't sit right with me at all. But now I wanted to move on to a different story because when MPS was selecting a new superintendent, I was very hesitant because of the fact they selected a white woman named Brenda Cassellius. And when I looked at her past history, she failed in the Boston public school district where they basically fired her. Like they had a separation agreement, right? And so I did not like the fact that she did not get results for Boston, Massachusetts. And so it made me think that she wasn't going to get results for Milwaukee Public School children. Now, I'm still extremely skeptical, very, very skeptical of her, and I'm still going to let things play out. But one thing I feel like I was wrong about is I was wrong about her not being willing to move past status quo. And I have an article here from WISN 12 that I want y'all to be able to listen to that talks about breaking news of what MPS just did in a major shakeup that is taking place inside of MPS here currently.
Milwaukee Public School Superintendent announcing job cuts at the district's central office.
Yeah, Derek Rose is in studio with us tonight with that letter she sent to staff, Derek.
And Blake, that letter from Dr. Brenda Cassellius says 181 jobs in the academics office will be cut, but not everyone will be leaving the district. According to the letter, about 40 certified teachers working in the central office will transition to classroom jobs. This, as Dr. Cassellius says, the district expects to have about 80 vacant teaching jobs at the start of the next school year. About 140 other central office jobs will be reposted, and existing staff will be able to reapply. The superintendent writing in her letter, changes will lead to cost savings that can be used to invest back in our schools, not our central office. She adds this change is rooted in creating new systems and structures to benefit students and schools. These changes as the district deals with several issues, including last year's financial reporting mess and the ongoing lead crisis in their buildings.
All right, certainly a lot of things top of mind for her, I can only imagine. Derek Rose reporting for us tonight in studio.
Thank you so much. And I want to be ultra sensitive when we talk about this, because I understand that this change impacts people's lives, right? Like if I had a job here somewhere, even working here at Good Karma Brands, and they wanted to move me to a different department, that would be something that I would have to think about if this is something I want to do, because we're talking about real lives of people right here in the community having their lives shifted, right? Their jobs are impacted. And it seems like most will be able to stay employed by MPS, which is something that I really like, and MPS just moving them to a different position. And what I like about this is the fact that we already know that there was a report out about MPS, right? There was a report out about MPS about an audit where MPS basically failed the audit. MPS central office, they said, was dysfunctional. They said that, there was a culture of fear, toxicity, and resistant to change, right? So with that being the culture that Brenda walked into, the new superintendent, I'm glad she didn't just continue on with the status quo. I'm a big fan of Keith Posley. I knew Keith Posley, and I felt like he was still too much status quo. And I feel like this step by Brenda, seeing that there was 80 unfilled teaching positions, 80 unfilled teaching positions seeking quality professional teachers, that she made the decision to access individuals inside of the overloaded central office and move them back into the classrooms. Now, again, I understand that a lot of these people worked hard to try to get these higher up positions, and now they'll have a decision to make. But a lot of time when restructuring happens in companies, a lot of people don't have a say. Ask a lot of the federal workers who are losing their jobs, who are your neighbors are here in Milwaukee, your family members here in Milwaukee, or on the national stage, the federal workers who are losing their jobs because DOJ just came in and cut it and said, all right, well, we'll give you a little, we'll give you 3 months pay or 2 months pay or 1 month pay, whatever it is, after we fire you, right? So the fact that the silver lining in this is that these individuals aren't being fired, they're being moved to new positions, allows for them to still have a job working for MPS, but more importantly, they're going to have their same salary for at least a year. Some people have to reapply for different positions. But I think this is a major change and major shakeup that we need. So I loudly applaud the act of doing something different, reducing how much administration staff we have in central office, because this is something that we have been clamoring for, we have been asking for. We have been asking for some type of change. Now, this change, hopefully, because her mind, she said it, you're getting qualified teachers to be inside the classrooms, which I think is good. But the biggest issue in this is the fact that there is the teachers union who was against this, and they're on the wrong side of history. And what frustrates me with the teachers union is that I understand they have a job to do. Their job is to protect the teachers and advocate for the teachers. I get that. I understand that. Advocate for the educators. But more importantly, your job is to advocate for the educators, but it's to make sure that the children in those classrooms in the district that you work in, that you represent as a union, that the students in the classroom have the best opportunity to be educated and the best opportunity to go on and succeed somewhere. And if that best opportunity comes from you as a professional having to sacrifice and having to take a step back and having to make a decision to say, listen, I'm in this administrative role, I don't want to be back in the classroom, but the district is calling for me based off of my skill set as a qualified educator to go back into the classroom and help uplift this district and uplift these kids. How could you be opposed to this? The teachers union is being purely selfish when they're giving pushback to something that's different, some type of change. And when I think about MPS and I think about the fact that you have 80 open positions that you can't fill with qualified professionals. Why would the teachers union not be applauding the fact that we're going to find 80 qualified individuals to make this district better? So it leads me to ask those who are part of the teachers union, running the teachers union, is it really about the kids? Because listen, we got people on this very station who are very anti against the teachers union because they feel like the teachers union does not advocate for the students. And I see it, but I'm not anti the teachers union because I believe unions are strong, they're good. But once the teachers union, like MTEA, continues to make decisions that are in the best interest of the teachers and not in the best interest of the district and best interest of the students, that's when I have to start questioning things. And so again, I want to applaud Brenda Cassellius, the new superintendent of MPS, for making a very tough, difficult decision. She is in charge. She's only been here for a couple months. And having to tell people that we're going to take away your job or make you reapply for your job or put you back in the classroom is a very hard decision to make, but that is what leadership does. And so to Brenda, I hope that this is a great move, and I commend you for making this move. And I say, you know what? I wish you the best of luck because I may have been wrong about you. You may have some gumption about you that may actually help uplift this school district. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say you are the perfect decision, but we will see. If the test scores improve, if the kids have a better quality of life, if the graduation rates go up, then all I can do is say congratulations and thank you. But this is a first great step in doing something different that could positively impact the students here in Milwaukee. 833-212-1017. That is basically what I wanted to really talk about, is because I really feel like that was a huge, huge move. But on the other side, what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up the show. I'm going to give you my final thoughts. Remember, you can always watch and stream us live on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a subscribe as well. But on the other side, we'll wrap up Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
What's going on, Truth Nation? It's your girl DT from Truth Unfiltered with Dr. Ken, reminding you to check out my interview with Old National Bank Senior Vice President Tracy Meeks this Monday night. We're going to be discussing Old National Bank's Empowerment Loan Program, why it was created, how it's different from traditional bank programs, and how this program can positively impact Black and Brown-owned businesses and communities. It's information you definitely are going to want to get educated on, so don't miss my one-on-one with Tracy this Monday night on Truth Unfiltered on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
So Black women's leadership needs to be prioritized. That means a whole lot of things, but it includes a message for white women, which would be, it'll be wise for you to take our lead. We've already demonstrated everything there is to the world about who we are. We shouldn't have to keep doing that over and over again. The reality is that there are times when we got to muster up the energy to do some things we don't want to do. But I don't want that to be commonplace for me, and I certainly don't want it to be commonplace for other Black women. There's often this message that we need to stay strong because there are people depending on it. No, we need ourselves.
Yeah, you can't, what do they say? You can't pour from an empty cup?
Yes. And I even am hearing people say a lot more, you shouldn't pour from your cup at all until it overflows. And it's the overflow that you give. You keep the full cup for yourself.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Who's looking for a better deal? Well, Cousin Sub's $10 meal deals just got better. Available online only. Order your 7.5-inch meal deal today and upgrade it with a large fountain beverage, large fry, regular shake, or regular Wisconsin cheese curds. Prices vary by item from $1 to $2 a piece. Make it better and make it your own way. Now that's a better deal. For further details or to order, go to cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app. Cousin Subs. We believe in better. Available online at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
Need to look sharp for graduation? You need
the $100 hookup.
Want to get decked out for prom? Get the
$100 hookup.
An incredible deal that includes a marvelous suit, shirt, tie, shoes, all for $100. Only at Nick Avani's, home of the
$100 hookup.
And that isn't limited to some standard stock suit. You'll be pleased by the top quality and variety of fashion offered at Nick Avani's. Get hooked up today at Nick Avani's in Mayfair Mall and at nickavani's.com.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
1, 2, 3, ho!
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I'm your host of Truth to Power, Kyle Wallace, on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. And today we talked about many different things. We went over a couple things. We jumped around a little bit more than I usually do, but I had a couple things that I wanted to get off my chest and get off my mind. I've been gone for a little bit, but to recap it, of course, we talked about the real ID. Do not be in a hurry. Do not be in a rush to get the real ID. If you're not flying anytime soon, going in any federal buildings anytime soon, you do not need to get a real ID right now. You don't have to wait in those long lines. And if you are flying, if you have a passport, you can utilize that. If you have a global entry card, you can utilize that. If you even still have your old ID, just be prepared to be waiting in line a little bit longer for extra security that you had to go through for that. So definitely don't panic about that. The other thing we talked about the removal of the boat and how the taxpayers are going to have to foot the bill currently of $55,000+ for the removal of a boat called Deep Thought that came ashore here in Milwaukee for the last 5 months. And then lastly, we talked about Milwaukee Public Schools, and we talked about the fact that we may be seeing some good changes with MPS. I know these changes that we're seeing, they may end up having good outcomes in the classrooms. There's more things we want to see. But the fact that the new superintendent wasn't afraid to do something that would ruffle the feathers of the teachers union, that wasn't afraid to make a major decision that would shake up central office as it is. Central office operation is old and outdated, and you need to have some type of upgrade. And based off the report that came out through an audit from the state of Wisconsin, put in place by Tony Evers, it was time for a major shakeup inside of central office. I wish everybody there, I'm happy they all get to keep their jobs, and I hope that they all thrive in their new positions. But this has been Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. The Tory Lowe Show is up next. Peace out. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Truth Nation. It's a big week for the Girl Scouts of Wisconsin Southeast.